everyone, and welcome to today's General Hospital recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. Really nice day today on General Hospital, not a lot of drama, and we learned a lot, so let's get right to it. At the Friedman Clinic, Sunny visits Morgan, and Morgan isn't really keen on seeing anyone. And Sunny gives Morgan, I think, like a tablet so he can keep in touch, but Morgan doesn't want it and just feels numb. And he asks about Kiki, and Sunny says that Kiki hasn't woken up yet. Morgan doesn't see any purpose in his life, and he still feels like he did on the roof. And he also feels locked away, and that Sunny and everyone should just leave him there. And Sunny says that in a way he's glad he's feeling pain because it means he's confronting his feelings, and it's going to pass in due time. And, you know, they're all in this together. I never saw High School Musical, but I grew up in the early 2000s, which means I was surrounded by it anyway. So don't judge me. At the PCPD, Valerie! Haven't seen her in a while. Of course, just when Dante and Lulu are back on track, he strikes up a conversation with Valerie, and she's almost graduated from the academy, and he tells her that he and Lulu are back together, and I'm like, in what world do you think she's like gonna be over the moon happy about that? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Don't talk to the person that you had the affair with this close to reconciling with your wife. I feel like that's good advice. But they wish each other the best, and Dante brings Curtis up, and so, involved in her personal life. And Valerie tells Dante that Jordan said he used to be a coke addict, because that's definitely something the guy you had an affair with needs to know. And Dante agrees with Jordan that she shouldn't continue to see Curtis, but she does want to see him and tells him her personal life isn't his business. Slow cut for Valerie. And Dante asks if they're friends. Yeah, okay. I can't. I feel like 25% of his brain still lives in dreamland, okay? And Valerie says she can't wait until this is all behind them like a bad memory, and that Valerie will always care about him and Lulu and the new family she found in the Spencers, and she's looking forward to everyone healing, which I am too, because I feel like, maybe in a year or so time we can all be like, past this. But like, he doesn't need to rush a friendship with her so fast. I mean, let's not forget, he needs to get rid of and burn the friendship for right now, and let it like rekindle out of the fire later, okay? At Windermere, Laura is still conflicted over what she wants to do with the key, and as long as Nicholas holds on to ELQ, Cassie assets are secure, and Hayden realizes how much more important ELQ is, and Curtis calls Hayden, and Hayden heads out to leave. Laura tries the key around the house to see if it's a furniture key, and she knows there'll be a game whether or not she wants to play. At Crimson, Julian is on the phone trying to sabotage the newest Crimson issue, and Alexis comes in with a dagger. Dun dun dun. Well, the dagger. So Alexis wants to know if Nina's there, but Julian's concerned about Alexis. So Alexis tells Julian the dagger is the actual murder weapon Helena used to slit her mother's throat. And he empathizes with her and like is kind of in disbelief. But that someone could be that cruel, but he empathizes with her about moving like away from your family but not being able to shake all of it out of your blood. And Olivia's hearing is tomorrow, so Alexis is going to work through the night, and Julian has all the confidence in her, and Alexis asks for ample room in his publications, and he says of course. At the waterfront, which is kind of like a new place that they didn't I don't know, it has like no real ties. It's just kind of like how the boxing studio showed up one day. Boxing ring, boxing studio. I don't think it's called a studio. Boxing gym. There you go. I can't. Anyway, at the waterfront, Anna asks Griffin if he's following her because of Duke Lavery. So I think I know which way this is going, because there were two possibilities of who Griffin may be, and being related to Duke was one of them. So his middle name tipped her off because it's a Lavery family name, and he tells Anna Duke was his father. So Anna asks if he knew Duke. No, he was raised by his mother, and talking about Duke upset her, and it was only after his mother died that he received a letter from her that explained the whole thing. His mother never got a chance to tell Duke about Griffin because Duke had already fallen in love with Anna, and she chose to stay quiet. So Anna thinks Griffin must hate her, but he doesn't. Quite the opposite, actually. And he wants to learn about his father. So Anna starts with the circumstances of his death, and she's doing all she can to bring his killer to justice. And Griffin gets paged back to the hospital, but leaves the letter with Anna. So Anna reads the letter. He lived a life. Okay, so it's from the mother's. Well, it's the mother writing it. Just there you go. So Duke lived a life different than the one she had imagined for herself, and she wasn't sure if she wanted to track him down, but after Griffin was born, she decided that she did. And when she finally did track him to Port Charles, she saw he was in love with a woman much like himself with dark hair and piercing eyes. I don't think she ever knows her name, but it's Anna. And she didn't want to get between them, and she doesn't regret her decision, and she missed Duke, but she loved her son. Also at the waterfront, Curtis asked Hayden to be a co-signer on his lease because his credit's bad. Just okay. So Curtis makes an offhand remark about Nicholas, and she tells him that he was cut out of Helena's will, so he doesn't have as much money as she banked on. So she sides the paper, and she wants to be paid back with services rendered. And Curtis says that he's not going to do anything to bail on her or compromise her future. And then Valerie meets Curtis there. At the hospital, Ava wants Kiki to wake up, and Kiki says Morgan again. And Ava tells the nurse that Kiki spoke, but she's not waking up. And the nurse tells her that Kiki needs more time to heal, but Ava wants Dr. Monroe here right now. So that's when he gets paged, and now he's at the hospital. So Ava questions Griffin as to Kiki's condition, and he says it's impossible to predict when she's going to regain consciousness, but he's going to examine Kiki now to see if there's any changes. Turns out her vitals are strong and there's increased brain activity, but he can't give her a definite. It wouldn't be fair because it'd just be a guess. So Anna watches as Griffin is talking and comforting Ava about how she's handling what's happening to Kiki and how she's always there for Kiki. And Ava... so Ava wishes she knew how to help Kiki, and Kiki still unconscious but asks for Morgan 2 more times. So this is where I think props have to go to Ava, even from me. Ava calls Sonny, who's still with Morgan at the Friedman Clinic, and she asks if he's with Morgan. She tells him Kiki's been showing signs of waking up, and Ava asks if Morgan can talk to Kiki. So props to Ava. See, this is like what happened yesterday. But anyway, props to Ava for putting egos. Oh, because I was just about to say egos. That's what happened. But for putting egos and feelings aside and doing what's best for Kiki. So Anna gives Griffin back the letter. He didn't want Anna to think less of his mother for not telling Duke about him or vice versa. And Anna says that she sees a woman who loved her son a lot and gave him everything. So Griffin asks whether Duke ever wanted children. And Anna says that he did, and he was a wonderful stepfather to her daughter and an amazing grandfather, not a great-grandfather, but an amazing grandfather to then her daughter's daughter. And she tells him that the 2 of them were going to have a child, but unfortunately she did lose the baby. And so Griffin is an only child, but Anna wants to provide a window of how Duke would have felt about him. I'm loving this right now, and I'm loving that they're giving Anna someone to care about in Port Charles. And now end scene. Today was such a nice day on General Hospital. So Nicholas is a little more miffed than he would like the general public to believe about Helena not leaving him anything, and about, even when he sunk all that Cassadine money into like an immortal serum, I don't even know what you call it, that then she would pay him back by not giving him anything. And Laura is still trying to figure the key out, but then she stops herself, and Hayden is back at Windermere. Curtis tells Valerie that he's sticking around town, and Valerie agrees to a second date. My notes are being a little crazy. So Anna tells Griffin that Duke never lost his humanity, even though the life he lived could have made him very cold. And now Duke lives on in his son, who's a doctor that saves lives, and he would have been so proud of him. Morgan gets on the phone. He talks to Kiki, and she starts talking in full sentences and wakes up, and she asks Morgan how he is. And Kiki wants to see him, and he promises to see her soon. Julian gets word that whatever he put in motion with Crimson is done. Like, okay, fine. He's trying to tank Crimson. I get it, kind of. But this issue is tackling the same issue that Alexis is fighting for, and it directly involves Olivia, because I believe she's going to be on the cover with Leo. So maybe he could have, put a pass on this issue and let this one do whatever it's going to do, and like, because by doing something with this issue, he's directly affecting two people who, you know what I mean? Even though I can't articulate it right, like, he's hurting two people he knows personally in his personal life very well. You know, the mother of his child and his wife. So, I don't know. I don't like that he's continuing this. Just, I don't know. I think he could have put a pass on this issue, personally. But, that's all I got. Thank you for watching today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. It means so much. And I will see you tomorrow from General Hospital. I hope you have a great day. Bye!